Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Twitty.
Yo, Wagwan. What you chat about?
How you doing, everybody?
What's that?
Welcome to Boom Bar, the morning after edition.
And for most of y'all, they were doing things that you were not supposed to do and didn't really do what you should have done to prevent the things you were not supposed to do. We're counting down.
Shout out to November children, yeah?
Yeah, we're counting down. November-ish,
October-ish, November-ish. Shout out.
Endish of November-ish, kind of.
Or maybe early Christmas babies.
Yeah.
you never know.
Because some of them stay longer than,
hi.
Shall make it to the third trimester, so you don't have too much stress, and you guys can call us for the party.
Of course, sir. We're here for that. Always here.
Because apparently, yesterday we had a little bit of technical issues. The video stream went off, but we continued the audio stream, and I was kind of like referred to as Valentine Day hater. I let it slide, but I want to just say something.
That
I do not hate Valentine's Day. I hate what it has become.
Okay.
I do not like the fact that people think of Valentine and they think of relationships. They think of Valentine and they think of sex. They think of Valentine and think of cheating. They think of Valentine and think of buying expensive or cheap gifts. I might have fallen for that trap when I was way younger. But the older I got, I started seeing the commercial angle to every celebration. Christmas, Easter, Valentine, birthdays, everything has been commercialized. So, again, why do I need one day that was not actually set aside for that reason to celebrate this reason? Why do I need that? The people that I love, as long as I can afford it and I have the strength and the time and the power, I should always show them without having to wait for February 14th. That's the way I say it, because February 14th, if you live in Lagos or maybe somewhere like Ibadan, is a day for those of you that don't like crowds to avoid the malls, avoid Ring Road, avoid some parts of Bodija. In Lagos, avoid Aregbesola and Surulere, avoid Okpebi Allen access, and some other parts of, wherever it is you live in Lagos, because where the eateries are, where the restaurants are, where the lounges, the hotels and the bars are, there's going to be some form of, crowd pulling events. And again, it's all business at the end of the day. So shout out to the people making the business. Keep doing your thing, but you all shouldn't force it down our throats. That's my thing. So
nobody's forcing it down your throat.
Oh yes.
I'm just saying.
A lot of people are, not you. A lot of people are. They are. Look, it's all over. Everybody is forcing this false narrative of what Valentines should be, and I'm not gonna fall for that. Not anymore.
Okay. So shout out to the people that celebrated Valentine's Day, people that got served breakfast, the people
that were beating their girlfriends in public,
and they claim, as usual, that it's a skit.
As usual, that's what they always come up with.
Always what they
it's always
going to
come up. Oh, it was just a skit.
And I'm wondering, okay,
did you see the video of the two ladies fighting at the ShopRite Mall in Ibadan?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh.
What were they fighting about?
Oh, they were supposed to be fighting over a guy, and the guy just stood there. And this, if anybody calls this one a skit, those ladies deserve Oscars and
the one that they even call a skit that I saw. That the guy was hitting the girl.
The guy slapped the girl.
No, not once. The videos of he hitting the girl, and I'm like, see, I know that. Let's even say like acting, like proper actors, that these things they used to depict some things, but is it even that hard? People that even get paid to do this, like
maybe they want to up the ante.
What do you want to? Okay, let's even assume it's a skit. How are you beating me so much because it's a skit? How?
Yeah, but now you are talking about it because of that slap. So shout out to the people.
See, to me, there was no part of it. Even if it was a skit, to me, it still looks like some domestic violence, very toxic stuff. I don't know how And the little that I know, skits are supposed to make people laugh. I don't know how hitting a lady, hitting anybody is supposed to make me laugh. I know that I have a very weird sense of humor. I know a lot of people tell me that, but okay. You still don't have to do some things to make a point.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially a lot of skits these days are, heavy on the violence. They're heavy on misogynist and misogynistic storylines or toxic storylines. But I'm saying you could still be funny without doing this. There's a guy that I think is funny. I think he's funny, but I'm not going to mention his name. But most of his skits is about, the woman does this, you push her aggressively away, and I'm like, come on. People are watching these things and they are thinking it's.
Do you understand? Like, so I don't know where they get their ideas from.
Coming up now, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to make those kind of stupid skits and they are slapping themselves all in the name of clicks and clout. You want views, you want eyeballs. And talking about eyeballs, go check us out on YouTube and like, share, comment, help us grow as we help you. Enjoy your time on the online space. All right, that's just that about yesterday, and we've moved on. And
we're talking about yesterday.
Oh, ye rappers, we're moving on to bigger things.
There's a lot that happened yesterday. You would agree with me.
Oh yeah.
Valentine's Day was just maybe 1/10 of the things that happened yesterday.
And some people have ruined Valentine's Day for some people with the kind of things that they got up to. Fancy getting arrested on
Valentine's Day. Oh my God.
The guy probably had plans in the morning. He had already paid those Parana people.
People are, in the evening.
The Parana people now.
Right.
Parana.
Or maybe his girlfriend. It was those set of people.
And some of his side chicks too are waiting.
We're going to do this. And then fancy sleeping that night.
A big shout out to Vader the Wild Card, actually, out there on Twitter. Amazing rapper and fantastic.
You said that like twice in 2 days.
Yes, I'm following the series. If an Agbero, had a diary, I urge you to please go and listen to that guy. You too, see. Oh my God! And of course, his girlfriend will see, who said yes yesterday when he proposed. So I'm following the series. We're on part 15 now. And it's just a 1 minute, and in 1 minute, he's going to have you in 6s and 7s. You're going to be all over the place laughing. If you don't laugh, then you probably have what the Lupo has. A weird sense of humor. All right, so still talking about yesterday. Just after the Boomba, Mr. Super Cop.
Yeah.
Now super criminal.
We actually talked about him yesterday. Even if he's not in court
yesterday, it looks like that guy is done.
Yeah, I think it's done. As we were talking about him, we talked about him yesterday about the very incriminating evidence that the NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, had against him. The video they had against him, and it was back and forth. But then by the time we had left the studio yesterday, he had gotten arrested. The Inspector General of Police had ordered his arrest, which I think that after all that evidence, it literally would be very, I don't know what to call it if he wasn't arrested.
Yeah, again, remember that the ongoing investigation in America that concerns Hush Puppy, whom he claims he was making clothes for, and that was the only reason why they were talking back and forth, is a big issue already. People already have an impression as if the government is trying to shield him.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel that by now he should have been repatriated or sent extradited or whatever to
the US
to defend himself, at least have his day in court, because they are the ones championing that case, and it's for frauds that are alleged to have been perpetrated by Hush Puppy.
Yeah.
And he's been seen as an associate of Hush Puppy. A lot of people who had doubts before, the doubts are gone now because,
because
now
he,
as the case
oh
is
Jesus
now,
Christ.
as the case is now,
I want to wants to wiggle himself out of
the police decided to arrest him. They did not wait for the NDLEA to arrest him because they had declared him wanted. So the police actually arrested Abba Kyari and his men.
I think it was the smartest thing that the police could have done for their own reputation.
They do not endorse that kind of behavior.
And according to them, they actually released the names of all the 5 people that they arrested yesterday. The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Sunday J. Ubwa, and Assistant Superintendent of Police, Bawa James, and Inspector Simon Agirba, and another Inspector John Nuhu. It was said they were driven into the national headquarters of the NDLEA in Abuja around 5 p.m.
Yeah. And again, it's funny how some of these guys live their life in plain sight. Like, one of them, I saw a picture of him. Is it the Usoro or some guy? I don't know the names you mentioned now. Can you run through those 4 names again?
Sunday J. Ubwa, Bawa James, Simon Agirba, and John Nuhu.
No, I think it's a James or something. So I think it's a James or a Sunday.
Yeah, there's a Bawa James.
Yeah. So there's a picture of him in a car that's believed to his own, a white SUV. And I'm like, on what salary?
It's an assistant superintendent of police.
Will a policeman afford that car? Assistant superintendent of police. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, wait. They have reviewed their salaries.
Okay, enough to live that kind of opulence, that kind of luxury. You know, the kind of houses that they live in.
This point.
Last month, if you go check on Facebook, he has a verified account, Abba Kyari.
Oh yeah, he does.
On Facebook, there was a particular event that he went to. He posted 350 pictures.
350
from one event, one social event that he was at.
350 pictures.
You go check it out. Go check it out. So you're wondering how someone who's under so much investigation
and scrutiny,
you know,
and no, but it's obvious now. It's obvious there is.
So after we left the bar yesterday, the story emerges that is now even being linked to a cartel, a drug cartel.
Oh yes, the NDLEA had
you know, it's beyond all of the things that were on ground. Now, another school of thought, people are saying, oh no, don't believe them. They're trying to make him not go to America, so they want the NDLEA to arrest him and keep him in Nigeria. And I'm like, the kind of conspiracy theories we think about.
Also, there is a story that I saw concerning that the police have come out to say, the NDLEA has said that even though once the federal government has concluded plans, the federal government has concluded plans with the U.S. Federal Bureau of Intelligence, the FBI, and they're actually willing to hand over Abba Kyari whichever way, even if, because the according to what I read, is that this investigation started before the NDLEA's own. There are 2 separate investigations, and so he's going to answer for his crimes because that started earlier, and then if he ever has ways of coming back to Nigeria, he will still answer for this ones as well. I don't know. I personally hope that it's done that way.
You know how they say it in broken English in Nigeria, when you're cooking something and someone says, help me check that thing that I'm cooking. I say, it don't done. Meaning that the food you're cooking is ready. And once food done, you know, say that's the end. If you cook it again, now overcooking. This bros don't done.
According
last bus stop.
According to Politics Nigeria, it says that police authorities claim that they delayed action on Abba Kyari for 4 days until the president directed the Inspector General of Police to release him to the NDLEA immediately.
You see?
And also, a top source in the presidency said the federal government was already finalizing the mutual legal assistance treaty with the U.S. on Kyari's extradition.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling someone yesterday, even after Boomba and during. I said, you think the president will know about all of this? It's not possible.
Yeah, I really think that for Nigeria's integrity, and it's better to just get him off your hands. It's less stress for them.
But isn't it a shame that we're saying we can't deal with our own criminals by ourselves? Or shall I say our alleged criminals by ourselves?
I won't say that we're not saying that we can deal with it.
So why do we want to get him off our hands?
He has crimes too.
Oh, if we have people that we're arresting from outside Nigeria and bringing here, why are we shipping our own criminals out?
Because he has crimes to answer for in the US as well.
Yeah, but you said it's better for them to just ship him out.
Listen, we're in a situation where we're in a country where a lot of people don't even believe that our justice system works.
Do you?
To a large extent, I think sometimes when the system wants to work, it will.
That means you kind of believe too, so that you fall into the same category of those people.
On this particular matter, yes. Because for a deputy commissioner of police that is supposed to be suspended, that still has this kind of network, he has been suspended since last year, has this kind of network, how...
He has access to recently seized exhibits.
He has this kind of information. He knows, according to the police, they're talking about how the drug people, 2 drug barons that were also arrested, how they're talking about policemen and NDLEA officials that are all in this drug ring.
Yeah.
And obviously, he knows about this.
He's involved, according to them.
He's
according to the investigation carried out by the police.
By the police, not even, meaning that the NDLEA releasing those things, they, like, according, and now you kind of believe now that it really took 4 days, because it means that the police too were in on this matter. So my own issue with the whole thing is that you don't know the kind of connection this guy has. Let's be honest with ourselves. This obviously does not allay the fears. This is one of the major issues that Nigerians have with the police especially. Like, there is a major rot in the police, whether we like it or not.
So to prevent or forestall the possibility of a mistrial or a miscarriage of justice, let
him just go and answer for his crimes first.
In 2022, if this is where we are as a nation, I say cover our faces in shame. Although I also want him to answer to the international matter, because we heard about it first, and largely due to his very irritating response
about how he suddenly became a tailor.
When they said, how did you get so close to Hush Puppy, in quote, you said he saw some native attires that you wore.
He wore, and then even if Hush Puppy,
he got in touch with you.
And
you could not send the tailor's number to say, Tailor, call Hush Puppy.
And that's why he's sending you so much money.
He's sending money to you. You're giving to Taylor.
You know the funny thing?
Oh, God.
This is a thing that we've talked
about
over,
I got pissed off,
over and over again, and it's a problem that I think that I have with Nigerians. Our PR is really bad. Even if you're going to lie, let the lie be believable.
The reason why is because...
Or just keep quiet.
They don't have depth.
You're so unintelligent.
They don't think deep. They don't.
I get it that whatever...
And this is someone who is in charge of an intelligence unit. A unit that is driven solely by data and information gathering.
You know, for me, I know
data analysis and information gathering.
I know that whatever it is that he might have allegedly done is bad. I agree. I'm sorry if the way my mind works, but I feel that even if you have been caught red-handed, in his case, I would rather say keep quiet, don't say anything. Or even if you're going to come up with a statement. Be
Shorty
intelligent about it. Like, you must really think that people are stupid.
A wise man once said, Shorty came in and she called me red-handed, sleeping on the bathroom floor. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. At least, you know what they say, deny.
You understand? And then you come up with the tailor angle.
Yeah, now, so this guy is multi-talented. He's a super cop. He's head of the intelligence unit. And then he's a tailor, and is also
I'm telling you I'm sorry,
drug baron.
this is that was when I literally gave
according
up.
to someone, he's a pharmacist.
I mean, which
Abba Kyari
you never even know what else he's involved in. All those kidnap rings that he was supposed to be busting and all. How are you sure it wasn't just busting rivals or some people that he was also involved in?
Did you not hear Evans's defense? That Abba Kyari was trying to coerce him to come
Remember?
Up. That's what he said. Now, a lot of people will look back and say, oh, maybe Evans was
actually telling the truth. Because then, nobody gave him a listening ear. But looking back, doesn't it look like...
Evans was insinuating that when his house was raided, things were taken away. You understand? So, there's in Yoruba, they call it a classic case of Olegbe.
Yeah,
you might want to help me translate that to English because of our non-Yoruba speaking listeners.
Thieves took it.
Why are you doing a direct translation now?
A thief stole it. A thief always steals. A thief took it. Another one collected it. I don't know.
Bottom line is, they're all thieves.
One person stole it, another person took it from the person that was.
They're
basically.
All thieves.
I just think that it's ridiculous. It's a slap on
There's something that I want us to, before you slap anybody again, you're talking about slapping people now. I need to be afraid, very afraid, because when you slap them, maybe the effect of the slap will come to me. You look like you want to slap people. All right, Dolukbo, have you thought of the fact that there are other people involved in this racket that if and when we hear their names, we're going to be like, wow.
Which
you too?
These days, after what you see with Abba Kyari, who is supposed to be Super Cup, who
award-winning Super Cup.
As much as people want to go off on some people or they want to turn it into a political thing, everybody at some point applauded this man.
You know.
As much as people don't want to agree with it, it is after this particular situation. I don't even think you should trust yourself anymore because what you are doing at night.
The sad part about all of this, and I hope that there are more people who could do better than him without the baggage. When the cultism issues in Ikorodu, Lagos became too hard to bear, it was the person that was deployed. And he came in his glory and quelled it. In Kaduna, he did the same thing. You understand? He goes around Nigeria.
More like it's becoming to look like he quells what he wants to quell.
Okay,
so
we'll definitely keep tabs on.
Oh yes, we're still not done.
This is a developing.
Developing story, as it's still developing as of today, because all this matter that came up happened yesterday. Now, as of today, the Inspector General of Police, who looks like he has his table full.
At the top.
I do not want to be in that man's shoes right now. I honestly don't want to be. Has now ordered the closure of all intelligence response teams and special tactical SWOT satellite units. Basically, they have like a force headquarters in Abuja. They now have like satellite units all over the country. He has now said that everybody in those satellite units, everybody should come back to Abuja. There's nothing like satellite units anymore. And I said that all serving officers and men in these units will be demobilized, debriefed, and then posted to commands across the country.
When there was a lot of hue and cry about NSAS, we heard NSAS had been disbanded.
Yeah.
And in its place, the former IG came up with SWAT, which everybody kicked against again, or a lot of people kicked against that. Look, it's just a change of name. They said, no, the NSAS guys and the SAS guys are being redeployed. Nobody has shown us any update on where they were redeployed to and how they were redeployed. What
happened to
the
them.
Issues surrounding NSAS, I do not mean the protest itself alone. I mean the build-up to it, where people are majorly concerned about police brutality. Is back on the road. They are back there. The policemen are out there extorting people, forcing people to go to ATM points to withdraw money for them, taking monies off people for whatever reason, you know. So every time they talk about disbanding, the debriefing and reposting, I take it with a pinch of salt.
Now, according to them, they're not disbanding anybody.
Yeah.
Wait, they're saying that there's still the intelligence response team. It's still there. The headquarters is still there. But everybody that is in these satellite units, everybody should come back.
Same thing that we're still saying, Dolupo. You ask all of them to come back to Abuja. They're going to leave all the parts of Nigeria that they are at, right? When they get back to Abuja, is there a machine that is going to scan them to say, oh, these are the bad ones, put them here, these are the good ones, cleanse them, or lay hands on them?
Except there's some investigations that has gone on.
That's what I'm saying. That you're already showing us that there is a big problem.
That's why you are calling everybody back.
To come back.
You're telling everybody to come back. Like I said,
so
I don't want to be in the police issues right now. Please.
Back to what we always said.
The IG has a lot of work to do.
One of which is creating a proper professional police force for Nigeria. And it starts with this intelligent unit, this microcosms of the police, these small, powerful units that are the ones that carry out, you know, most of the tactical work that is being done by the Nigerian police. You know, police is wide. Their job is very, very wide. The traffic and other things.
Different parts of it.
They even do bodyguard work too and carry umbrellas at times. Yes, now the pictures are out there, the videos are there.
All right. Yeah, you know, there was something we were talking about earlier today, and it's very interesting because I actually saw this news this morning, and I said I was going to bring it up with you. I don't know why I forgot again. A bill set to establish a security coordination agency has passed the second reading in the House of Representatives.
You see?
And I'm this is what we're talking about today. Like, there has to be some, you know, synergy with these people. And actually, for people that, of course, people that don't know what we're talking about earlier this morning was that this issue of a lot of security agencies. Okay, I think it started with this NDLEA and the police, and how it looks like there's a bit of tension between each person and everybody.
Or customs versus immigration.
Immigration or customs and
versus
airports. You know, there's always this.
Nigerian Army versus Nigerian police.
Yeah, there needs to be some synergy and some definitely. So now, this particular bill has officially passed the second reading in the House of Representatives.
It makes a lot of sense. Let's get real here. It makes a lot of sense. There has to be coordination. There has to be coordination. And this should also be replicated amongst parastatals and ministries also. So that way, there is no clash of interest or a clash of egos and whatever, because there has to be a clear-cut definition and a clear-cut vision of what everybody's doing and what they're trying to achieve.
Exactly. And then let's have, because they're all security agencies, and like we had pointed out this morning, which I didn't even know some of them, like we know, for example, police is under another ministry, customs is under another ministry, a lot of this paramilitary are under Ministry of Interior and all that. They're all supposed to be security agencies at the end of the day.
The police have their own ministry.
The army are under the Ministry of Defense. Everybody is like, that should not like everybody should be under one ministry, but at least there should be some
interministerial, you know, arrangements should be on ground.
Yes.
Interministerial committees.
Prisons.
Then everybody
should.
You know, intra and intermilitary committees should be set up,
Should be set
so
up
that
as
there's
well.
synergy.
Exactly.
There's information sharing. There's a common picture. There's a common
Goal.
and everybody is working towards painting it and achieving
exactly.
actualizing it.
At the end of the day, and still talking a bit about all the security agencies. The EFCC is in the news again. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has secured the final forfeiture of 20 properties valued at about 3.07 billion naira belonging to a top military officer. Now, just hold on. Before I get to the crux of it, let me just reel out the what's it called? The properties that were seized. Lands in different parts of Kano, Katsina, Calabar, that's Cross River State, and Kaduna. Also, filling stations, event centers, plazas, block industries, a truck assembly plant, a polythene production factory, and a table water factory. In-depth and undeveloped land located at Rake in Kano State, valued about 300 million. 117 hectares of land located at Adiabo in Calabar, Cross River State, valued about 386 million. A truck assembly plant at Ring Road in Kano State, valued about 206 million. Maraba Event Center in Kano State, valued at about 250 million naira.
All of this stuff at a total of 3.7 billion naira.
3.07.
3.07 billion naira. I stand corrected. From a serving member of the Nigerian military.
Chief of staff. Chief of staff is probably not chief of staff. What's he called? Chief of army staff. Yeah, chief of army staff. It's like the highest ranking military officer.
How does a military man have access to steal?
Come and join me.
3.7.
Still, my cup is looking pretty in the camera.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty camera.
You know,
it's looking pretty.
3.07 billion. How does one individual have access to that kind of funds? Are there not supposed to be checks and balances? Are there not supposed to be things in place? And this is a slap on the face of all the members of Nigeria's intelligence committee or community.
I think
all the top members of the security
as much as
community. How does this happen? And it happens often.
As much as we want to there's corruption here, there's corruption
3.07 for one guy.
That whether we agree or not, I think the security agencies have some major corruption. Maybe because of the amount of money that goes into these people, so they have access to this much monies, but it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
3.07 billion.
Yeah.
One guy serving in the military was able to siphon. And what he has taken is more than that. This is the value of the properties that have been recovered from him. They've not told us the amount of cash that he has stashed. Nobody has said anything about that. At the end of the day, that guy is probably stealing about 6 or 7 billion.
It's a very
Then you go to sleep at night happy with yourself, knowing that you have deprived men and women of the military of certain
honestly
items,
that's what actually
most of the funds that they steal is usually meant for such things.
That's the first thing that pops up in my head, that how do these people get to sleep at night? I'm sorry. It's a very, very sad thing. It's a very sad thing. But still talking about corruption and all that, the House of Representatives, as Committee on Anti-Corruption and Public Service Matters, has today summoned the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and the ministers of and ministries heads, the Minister of the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the head of service of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Auditor General. There's an investigative hearing on a high-level corruption on nominal roles of MDAs, that's ministries, departments, and agencies.
So what's this about?
They really haven't talked about much, but they basically have just summoned these people.
Okay, let's see how it pans out. Let's find out what it's all about.
What it's all about, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Now, a very interesting story that we talked about last week, and this is something that has been going on for weeks, and it is now the Silver Star Oromoni story, the boy that died in Dowen College, that it was alleged that he was bullied, and there was a lot of noise about it. There are two different angles that has come up between yesterday and today that I was going to talk about. First thing is, when we talked about it last week, there was a family doctor that testified during the coroner's inquest that the boy was not taken to the hospital. Now, his father had testified in court yesterday and also said that he was not taken to the hospital.
Why?
And I'm like, it's just in Nigeria that we're in. I get it that some people might...
Do you know the parents too can be culpable?
That's what I'm saying. Like, explain to me how that makes any sense.
You
just
see
doesn't
that
make
boy
any
was
sense.
in a lot of pain.
Like, the first thing is get him to a hospital. You keep him in the house for days. To do what? Like, I don't know, but I don't get how it makes any sense. How you as a parent are comfortable seeing your child in so much pain and it's fine for you to keep him in the house. I don't know if it is illiteracy. I don't know if we'll call it religion. I don't know what it is, but there's no part of that arrangement that makes any logical sense to me.
I agree with you 110%. At least take the child to the hospital.
Whatever it is that you're doing
Let
after
them
that,
assess
then we can talk about that later, yeah? It doesn't make any sense. But also, talking about...
You know, the funny thing is, if they are taking him to the hospital, they probably would have gotten...
The boy will be alive.
Some kind of damage assessment from the doctor, and they would have been able to treat him.
Yes, they probably would have treated him. The boy will be alive. He will even be able to testify.
Then he will be alive to testify. Then they would also have evidence from the treatment and the scans that were carried out on the boy. But you took him home and you took him to church.
And what's that supposed to be doing? What sense does that make? But anyway, now a police report. The police has now submitted a report on the death of the boy. And according to the report, it's very, very interesting. This was signed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Criminal Investigation Department, which they actually, the report indicted, remember the first 5 boys that were arrested? And 3 teachers.
Oh, in the police report?
Yes. According to them, they're saying that
this is good news.
As much as they didn't have like a lot of evidence, 2 of those suspects, one by the name of Michael Kashamu and Kenneth Iang, a Favor Benjamin, they're saying that these people have, 2 of them,
Michael Kashamu,
and
Favor Benjamin,
Michael Kashamu and Edward have been earlier in 2019 on 2 different occasions been suspended from school for bullying. So
there's a case. There's something there.
Also, that this Michael Kashamu person had beaten this boy earlier.
Same Sylvester Oromoni.
Yes, I'm talking about how concerning something that has to do with his sister and all that. Then there is also another boy that was beaten, which the boy is no longer the parents withdrew him from school because one of these boys had beaten this boy.
So a pattern has been established.
Exactly. So they seem to have a case of
these guys are actually
bullying.
bullies. Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
They have letters, like proper letters from the school suspending these children. Also, they're talking about the housemasters, 3 different people who they're saying they're culpable,
They didn't
and it's
do their
because of
jobs.
negligence.
Tolupo, have you ever thought of the fact that the what's the name of the school again?
Dowen College.
Dowen College. The managers, not these housemasters now, the owners and the management team of that school. What if they are taking a different approach?
Yeah, they're claiming that, in fact, according to the investigation, that these 3 housemasters, a lot of this inappropriate behavior and bullying have been reported to them over time.
And they did nothing.
And nothing had been done. According to report, let me read something. It's evidently clear that some groups of students constituted themselves into a clique that bullies and intimidates fellow students in the school. A glaring example is Michael Kashamu and Edward Baig, who were earlier reprimanded for bullying other students.
2 things for me, Dolu.
There's a pattern. It's crazy.
First thing is, why did the police first say something before this police report came out? Why did they immediately release those boys and say they had no case to answer? Now there's a police report from the same police indicting those boys, or at least raising a lot of questions about them.
Yeah.
The second thing, and I repeat, the school, shouldn't they have been neutral in this matter? Shouldn't they have said, while we carry on our own
internal investigation,
we hand over this case to the state,
even if it's
government,
just to,
and the police. Whatever they say, we will comply with. But you quickly coming out to say the boy died of football injuries, you understand? It shows that you are trying to cover up something. So again, employers of labor, managers of image managers and PR managers and all, please, don't be quick to send out a rebuttal all the time. At times it's good, but at times, trust me, it's going to come back to bite you in the behind.
I think that, and we keep saying it, we still need to, it still goes back to parenting.
Yeah. At the end of
Let's
the day.
be honest ourselves. Everybody is going on and nobody should bully their child. At times, your child is the bully.
Now, what are you doing about it?
Your child is the bully. Nip it in the bud. Remember, I don't know if you remember this video where I think a lot of people, actually, there was a lot of backlash. It was an American where he posted a video that his daughter was walking to school. That she didn't believe that she was going to walk to school because she had been reported for being a bully on the bus, and she was going to walk to school. Bullies are not allowed.
You don't get a free ride.
You don't.
You know, because...
And when you think about that, like the long distance that I'm going to walk.
I'm not saying you should physically damage any human being. But at times, you need to test that behind. At times, you need to be the hard person. You need to come down on these kids and make them understand that
these things
it's
can
not
fly.
okay for them to do it to other people. You know, it's because a lot of parents are so afraid of their children. Some don't even want to hear them cry. But you don't know, it's better for them to cry now than you cry later. Let me say it now. It's better for your child to cry at a small age when you really give them a little bit of discipline than for you to be the one to cry at a later stage because there's nothing you can do about it anymore. There's nothing. You know, there was something in Nigeria that they called the Barbie show. And the Barbie show was basically the execution of confirmed criminals.
Yeah.
People who have been sentenced to death, they will be tied to a stake and actually shot. You know, they'll be shot by, a firing squad. That's what they used to call them. And there's this particular storyline that became popular. It is legend has it that it actually happened. That one of those very popular criminals, when he was finally sentenced to the stake to be shot, by the firing squad, he had asked to speak to his mom. and he was tied to the stake. So he couldn't use his hand or legs or anything. He was tied, and the judge or whoever granted him the chance to speak to his mom. And I've seen it reenacted in movies, in Yoruba movies. And the guy goes close to his mom, and she has to come because he has to talk to her. You know, he cannot move his body. And as soon as she got so close, he beat her on the ear, almost chewed her ear off, and spat it out or spat blood out or something. And people were like, oh, why did you do that to your man? I said, that is a punishment for not punishing him when she had the chance. That she was an enabling parent. She always make sure he had everything and covered up for him and did it, and that's how he ended up where he is. Back to what we're saying, parenting.
It's a very, very sad thing. Unfortunately, a boy had to die, but two things
It's
for
sad.
me. Number one,
Another avoidable death.
Please, as much as we're very religious, we're very spiritual people, let common sense lead a lot of times.
And most times,
boy probably, as much as
those boys
did what they did, he probably would be alive today if he had gotten to a hospital fast. As I know that in Nigeria we're very sympathetic and all that, but the truth of the matter is parents are actually culpable. They are culpable. There's nothing anybody wants to tell me. That's my own opinion.
And again, at times, you know the phrase that someone is being more religious than the Pope. Nigerians tend to have that.
Oh, yes. I agree.
We tend to do this, so I'm not saying you should not test your faith. I'm not saying you should not practice it. I'm not saying you should not speak to your God. But do you know you could actually take that boy to the hospital and brought your pastor to come and pray there?
Exactly.
You could have actually done that for Sylvester
Exactly. I'm sorry, but there's no part of it that makes any sense.
Everybody is culpable.
Everybody.
Even the parents.
Yes.
And they might not like to hear this, but the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth. Yeah.
You actually had taken the boy out a couple of days before he died. It wasn't even, you know, the story we heard before was like, oh, they took him from the hospital.
It was
they sent
at
a family member.
About 4 or 5 days.
Imagine.
And then I think it was the day he died, they finally took him to the hospital.
Imagine.
Very. That was 5 days that something.
They were even saying something about they took him to church or something. Why?
5 days of things that could have been done. Something could have been done. It's a very, very sad one. But moving on from that, as we're going all the way to Ibadan, as the Oyo State governor, as officially last night, this news broke last night, has officially approved the appointment of High Chief Leko Balogun as the 42nd Olubadan of Ibadan land.
Once again, after all the drama, after all the backbiting and all the infighting and all the court cases and all the machinations and manipulations and horse trading, tradition and culture is the winner here. Because the rightful person, based on the system of getting, the ruler of Ibadan land as one again, the rightful person who was supposed to be the next Olubadan has now been announced by the governor, who has the power to announce it. So congratulations to the incoming Olubadan of Ibadan, and hoping that people will respect culture and tradition and not try to fix a system that works.
Okay.
If it then broke, don't try to
fix it. Yeah. Now, moving off that, there's a little bit of news. Well, let's go a bit of politics here.
I thought you were going to go from Ibadan to the neighboring states.
Yeah, that's politics. Okay. There's a little bit of politics. We're going to Osun State, but from Osun State, we're still going all the way to Zamfara State. But let's stop at Osun State first. And there's drama brewing in Osun State as a former commissioner of Lagos State turned governor of Osun State and wanting to come back as senator in Lagos State is now visibly angry. There's a lot of rumors going back and forth, but now it's at least you cannot say that video is doctored, of him spewing a lot of things against the sitting governor of Osun State. Spewing a lot of things about former Lagos State governor Bola Tinubu. In fact, there is a particular one here that I'm looking at that he's said, and I quote, "We've asked God to bring Tinubu down. He doesn't mean well for us." And this is the person of the Minister of Interior, which I'm wondering, a whole Ministry of Interior. What part of this are you so jobless that you have so much work to do? But anyway,
let's talk.
He's
politics.
going off. He's really like he's been going off.
Let's talk politics. We'll talk about this situation in Osun State now.
Mm-hmm.
The current governor of Osun worked with this former governor in his own cabinet.
In his own cabinet, yeah.
Then, for whatever reason, they
fell out.
They agreed to make him governor, and they supported him.
I don't think he agreed.
For whatever reason.
I think from day one he wanted someone else. I think that's what always.
So for whatever reason, they made him governor. Him agreeing or not.
He became governor anyhow.
They made him governor.
Mm-hmm.
So Governor Oyetola and the former governor have been at loggerheads for a long
from day one.
time.
No, they have, yeah.
And it is playing out now.
Okay.
On the part of former governor Rauf Aregbesola,
Yeah.
you cannot take one thing away from him. He's a grassroots politician.
Yeah.
In Lagos, some parts of Lagos is seen as their mentor, like their numero uno, the biggest guy.
Yeah.
In
And I
that
think around
part of
Alimosho.
Alimosho and all. He's respected there. Even when he was governor, some politicians would travel to Osun State to inform him that they wanted to contest for elections in that area.
Oh, remember when he finally left Osun State? There was a huge banner. Welcome back.
Welcome
or something.
back. We saw that at Burger
Yeah.
bus stop there.
Yeah.
And everything. So, the part where it's funny is that our politicians always take the piss. I respect him a lot. I think he knows the game of politics. And a lot of people actually used to see him like next in line to Tinubu, like in the Tinubu organogram.
Yeah.
People see Tinubu as number one. They see Aregbe as number two. A lot of people do.
Yeah, a lot of people thought they were like there.
You get. So the thing is, how are you a commissioner in Lagos for X number of years, serving under Tinubu?
Which being a commissioner is an appointment, so you can fly.
No, I'm saying, how are you a commissioner in Lagos, serving under Tinubu? Then you become a governor in Osun State, you know, running your own government. There was a time this man didn't have commissioners for years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Running your own show all by yourself. Then you are done with your 8 years. Then you come back to Lagos and you want to contest to be senator. Come on, sir.
I think that was the hugest slap on anyone's face.
Now, let's leave that. The current president sees something in you and makes you a minister. And you're actually making some strides. But
you are so involved in politics that I don't get it.
No, there should be. It's around that time. But your issue with Oyetola should be laid bare. Let us understand the issues that he is a bad person. Let's know what he did. You see, what I see is that I've established this just to show you a pattern. Adams Oshiomhole, governor of Edo, when he was leaving, he brought his friend, his protege, and whatever. What happened? They fell out. You understand? They fell out. If you're going to look at it, hardly would you find a godfather that did not fall out with his godson, except for in a place like Delta State. In Delta, you find that, they have this smooth thing from...
They are not there yet.
They have, they had, what's his name?
Ibori, and...
Then there was his former commissioner who became governor again. Then after that one, then there's Okowa. And of course, we're already hearing about the next person. So they seem to have their own loyalty thing going. But if you look at even Bayelsa,
oh yeah,
you find out that the people who brought these people in, they had loggerheads, they're fighting. You know, go to River State, it's the same thing. There are fractions of parties here and there. Former friends.
I think at a point, the person under the godfather becomes big, and they feel that they they can, which everybody has a chance to do what I just feel that I don't know if people have seen that video.
Another problem is that 7 ministers seem to have this erroneous belief that they are the highest ranking party members in their state.
I think so.
In Kwara, they have the same
similar problem.
Then in Osun, you see it play out also.
I think so too.
Oyetola being your former chief of staff or whatever it was in Aregbe's government, does not mean
it doesn't change the fact that when we really think about it,
the party structure is number one.
You're an appointee. He's a duly elected person.
He's number one.
Tomorrow, Buhari can wake up tomorrow and you're yanked off. You're officially, and nobody's going to do anything about it. And I think that's the thing, is the idea of the old mentality that, okay, I was governor before this person, so I should...
Or I'm a bigger party person than you, so I should be... Look at what's happening to them in Kwara. They have the same issues.
Yeah,
exactly
the same issues.
So if you look around, you start to see that trend. But you see, it's because those ministers feel that those governors that they are loggerheads with, they can control them. It will be difficult.
And it looks like
it will be difficult
the governor doesn't want to be controlled, and then there's a problem.
The minister from Kano to say he's going against Ganduje in Kano, it will be very difficult. You understand? Very hard. The same way it goes for other states where the ruling party has a governor and a minister from. But in these places, you find that
there were former governors, or they've always been
they're big, and they think that they're bigger than the governor, and it should not be.
It shouldn't
Even
be.
if you're going to pretend in public and give him his respect, the guy will also give you your respect.
In fact, according to him, he's really going at Tinubu at this point, because he said that according to him, he says they're already urinating on themselves. Okay. I think that somebody somewhere should slow their roll.
But there's something I don't support. So after all of these statements that he made yesterday, his convoy was believed to have been attacked by thugs. We're getting to that crazy part of politics again. We don't want this. And this is speaking to all the idiots who think that they are thugs and they can do anything for peanuts. Go and have sense, because if they catch you, these people will not bail you. Whoever you think you are working for.
For number one. Number two, as much as, let's be honest with ourselves, I feel that I saw parts of that video. I feel it's very childish. You have issues with people. Yes, nobody's saying you shouldn't have issues with people. But this idea of going off and... we're in 2022 let's be civilized. Like, let's behave like civilized people. And that's it. I don't know the issue of how politics works, but at least let us be a little civilized. And finally, before we go, wow, we're almost out of time. Zamfara deputy governor.
It's not
looking good for him,
but
it's not looking
let's see how
good.
it pans out, because we really don't have time to
we definitely don't have time to dive into it. And on that note, that is all we have to take on the Boom Bar today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of The Bar. It is at 3 p.m. West African time on boomradio.com.ng, where you can catch this also on YouTube. It is Boom Radio NG on YouTube. It is Boom Radio on Facebook, and Boom Radio NG on Twitter as well. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.